Hey, Shabbat Shalom Mishpocha. Welcome to another edition of the Haftorah Hashings. This is Haftorah Hashings, number 37, and it's Sheliach Lecha, which is taken from the book of Yehoshua, Joshua, chapter 2. And this is the famous passage where Yehoshua sends out the two spies, and one of those spies is Caleb, or Kalev, and the second one is traditionally thought to be Pinchas, or Phinehas, and you will, in later Torah portions, will get to know about Pinchas a little bit better. But this story deals with the two spies going to Rahab the harlot's house. And I don't know about you, but ever since I knew what a harlot was, and I read this passage, it always disturbed me that two devout men of God, especially if they were in actuality Caleb and Phinehas or Pinchas, would go to a harlot's house. I don't know if it's ever bothered you, but it has bothered me. And the more I got to study this passage and got to study the original language of the Hebrew regarding this passage, my mind was put at ease. Because we as Yehudi, as Jews, are to avoid all appearances of evil. We're not to even put ourselves in places to where which we would be tempted in any way, shape, or form. So I honestly don't believe that the two spies sent out by Joshua would go to the house of a whore. And let me tell you why. Because the Hebrew word for harlot not only means harlot, but it could also mean innkeeper. And I believe with all my heart that this has been poorly translated throughout the years and generations, and that instead of Rahab being a harlot, because there's no other evidence that she was a woman of ill repute or of impropriety, but the scriptural evidence, the context of the passage in question, Joshua chapter 2, reveals that she probably was an innkeeper, because if she was making money through harlotry, why would she be putting flax upon the roofs to be dried? Why would she have a house, a residence within the wall of the city? To me, these things clearly indicate that she was an innkeeper, that she lived in the wall, and there were other rooms in the wall, and it wasn't a brothel, but indeed it was a hotel or a motel, if you will. And the passage also talks about the deal between the spies and Rahab, where Rahab hides the spies, and they said, look, when we come to invade the land, Rahab says, please spare me. Okay, we will. Just hang a red cord, scarlet cord out the window, so we'll know it's you. And it says that she brought her family to be protected. Now, a harlot usually disassociates herself with her family, or she is kicked out of her family because of her disgraceful occupation as a whore. So to me, if she invited her family to be rescued when Israel came to take the city, this gives me even more evidence that she was not a harlot, but rather an innkeeper. Because I don't care how righteous you are, I don't care how pious you are. Guys are programmed to be visually stimulated, and when you know that a woman is a harlot, your mind automatically goes, oh, she's been with a lot of women, she's experienced, and your flesh rises up and you become tempted. And those men would have been tempted being in the house of a harlot, especially if it was a brothel. There would have been other women there who would have provided their services to these two spies. So I honestly do not think that Rahab was a harlot, but that she was indeed an innkeeper, that she rented out rooms for guests and for people that were coming to the city and traveling to the city. She put flax upon the roof and possibly other things to dry so she could provide food and other things for her guests. But not only that, but it was a secondary way of income where she was maybe selling flax or making things out of flax or what have you, because it was under the flax where she hid the spies. So I just wanted to bring out something a little different, something a little unique in this Haftorah Hashings this week. So hopefully some light bulbs kind of went off for you watching this time around. So tune in again next time for Haftorah Hashings number 38. So thanks for watching. Shalom and Shavuot Tov.